Kirby and the Forgotten Land is a pretty wonderful game, but that doesn't mean it doesn't not have glitches. I'm saying that it has some glitches. Unlike with LEGO Star Wars The Skywalker Saga, which I recently covered, Forgor Land's glitches require a bit of effort, so they're just fun to mess with and not likely to be seen during normal gameplay. At this time, there's not a lot of glitches, and I'm not the first person to cover this topic, so I'd like to focus in on just one particular glitch. If more are found, I might make a video, but until then, after this one, you can check out Isay's video, which includes flying out of bounds with the arch, weird car physics, and more. That said, this video's primary glitch is the hammer super bounce. It's a relatively simple move that lets Kirby soar high into the air, often far beyond what the camera can track. As the title suggests, this lets us get out of bounds in quite a few places. So, how do you do it? Well, you need the hammer ability. A lot of clips I've seen use the toy hammer, but all 4 hammer evolutions work, with the wild hammer potentially being the most effective. So when you press and hold the ability button mid-air with the hammer, Kirby will smack the ground and get bumped back into the air. The basic, toy, and masked versions of the hammer let you do this 3 times before landing, while the wild hammer can do it just twice. We can abuse this little boost from smacking the ground by hovering and waiting until Kirby runs out of stamina. Now press B to depuff, and then press and hold B to smack the ground, and either tap or hold A right after smacking the ground, and based on the timing, you get a huge bounce. That's basically all there is to it. The only annoying part of this trick is that you have to run out of stamina with each attempt, and the super bounce height is dependent on your timing, and you could easily just miss the timing, so doing it over and over can be a bit tedious. Regardless, this is a fun glitch to mess around with, and mess I did, which I will present to you through a montage, and then we'll talk about some more specific stuff later.
Don't leave me here! My God! Help me!
After super bouncing around in just about every level in this game, I think I'm starting to understand. So Kirby is kept shackled within bounds by 3 things: invisible walls, physical walls, and the camera. Physical walls stand just about no match against Kirby and the hammer, but the other 2 are more complex. Most invisible walls extend far into the sky, but the temporary walls that appear during a boss fight often can be hovered over. The camera usually doesn't follow the character up until you leave the play space, and left to right feels pretty inconsistent. This limits exploring in most levels because Kirby can't physically go beyond the camera's bounds.
My friend's in there.
Congratulations.
Boss battles eliminate this issue because the camera will always rotate to keep the boss within view. This makes things interesting with the tree, armadillo, and monkey boss fights. For Tropical Woods, you can super bounce up over the trigger to start the fight, though you can also just do that normally if you know where to go. While the arena is sparse, we can bounce up over the wall to reach the backside. Try as he might, he can't turn, so this is a silly way to cheese the fight. Speaking of, for Mr. Silly Dillo, it seemed pointless to try to escape the arena because the whole thing takes place within a sort of cave, but it turns out the skylight above the first arena is actually a physical hole that we can escape through. For some, seeing how the level is put together might break their immersion, but I think it's cool to see how the devs build these levels with individual sections of rock, far off models, and overlapping piles of sand. By far my favorite place to explore with these super bounce is the Gory Mondo fight. The invisible walls surrounding the arena are extremely short, and you can land on any of the giant trees, or outside of the mall, or the sidewalks normally meant to serve as set dressing. While exploring, the only thing to watch out for is the default grassy texture that stretches across the bottom of the map. This damages Kirby and sends him back to the last safe location, not unlike how lava works. I guess they didn't want us somehow getting out and falling under the map. If we're careful, we can navigate over to the various skyscrapers because the sidewalk surface extends much farther than you might expect. I briefly tried bouncing my way up the buildings to get higher and higher, but they have the kind of surface that you can walk on but not hammer smack bounce against, which is a bit disappointing. Now, I don't have much more to show off or talk about other than to share this bit where I escaped the silly Dillo refight and navigated towards the camera across the path you usually roll through with Pipe Kirby. It doesn't show off much, but I think it gives us an idea of what we'd expect if we had free camera movements for most of the levels, just a whole bunch of one-way textures. So there might not be that much more out there, but yeah, that's about all of the Forgotten Land I was able to find, so let's end things here. Thanks to my channel members for their support, and a bounce size thanks to Captain Crayfish for being a super fan. If you like this video, make sure to leave a like, maybe subscribe, and also check out some of my other videos, like the one looking at Easter eggs and fun facts in Kirby Forgor, or any of the other stuff. It's up to you. That's it for this one. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.